Who's been the best Spider-Man in film? Four actors have played the main role of Spider-Man on the big screen. But who's been the best? Why Toby Maguire is the best Spider-Man? You never forget your first, right? There might not have been today's superhero fever if Sam Raimi and Toby Maguire had botched the 2002 film. Maguire's rendition of Parker is the most similar to the comic character when it comes to being a lonely, nerdy kid that has nothing going on for himself in high school. If that wasn't enough, he's also the character who shows the biggest connection to his Uncle Ben. So when tragedy happens, you really see that affecting the rest of his life and changing his path so he can become the superhero we all love and respect. Maguire's other best qualities in the role are the fact that his version is the one that explores what it means to have a double life and how many times being Spider-Man makes Parker's life worse as he keeps missing moments with his family, friends, and Mary Jane, and how sometimes being a hero can suck. His version of the character is also the one who takes the same care for the Peter Parker part of the double life and not just the Spider-Man part of the character. Although he's a superhero who fights crime, he still has to work two jobs so he can pay rent on time, and his mistakes have consequences, making the with a great power comes great responsibility a harder choice than it could be. But perhaps the greatest asset Maguire has is that he knows how to show that angst. He's a good kid whose superhero life sabotages his real life all the time, and he's bummed about it even if he knows he's doing the right thing, making his powers both a gift and a curse. This idea is explored well in the second movie, the best superhero sequel ever, as Peter stops being the hero for a bit and his personal life gets spectacularly better. Maguire's Spider-Man also has another important thing going for him. From all the versions of the character, he's the only one that has personal connections with the villains, making his fights double-edged. For example, he knows Norman Osborn, played by Willem Dafoe, because Norman is his best friend's father. And he knows Dr. Otto Octavius, played by Alfred Molina, because he's one of Peter's heroes and someone who's given him a chance, making the stakes much bigger because even if he wins, he loses something. And when the Green Goblin dies, Peter's best friend Harry, which is played by James Franco, becomes his worst enemy. Why Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man? After the Maguire saga, Andrew Garfield had a tough act to follow. He didn't look like a teenager, he was already 27 in the first movie, and yet he knew how to show his teenage angst. Garfield's Parker wasn't as nerdy as Maguire, as he was more of a cool outsider, but he was also quirky and awkward around Gwen, the girl he liked. The actor was best at showing how much fun a teenager would have with his powers, with his giddiness while slinging around New York City, and especially his humor while fighting bad guys. Marvel Comics' Spider-Man was a wisecracking jester able to throw punchlines as good and fast as his webs, and this version is the one that does that part of the character the best. His witty banter, comedic timing, and sense of humor make his battles something more than just physical battles. Garfield is the best actor of the three real-life Spider-Man adaptations, and it shows. He was destroyed by the loss of his uncle while trying to hide it from the girl he likes. He was a bumbling hero, and you believe all those things are affecting one another, creating a tri-dimensional character. But what makes this Spider-Man the most unique is his relationship with Gwen Stacy, played by Emma Stone. Maybe it's because the actors were dating in real life, but you believe every second of that relationship that shows that young love is as intense as it comes. Gwen is a great character on her own, and there is nothing more lovely than the fact that she loves Peter more than Spider-Man. The actress makes the character resonate and gives her autonomy. All those things make her end much more dramatic in what might be the most gut-punching moment in any of the movies from any of the actors. And about the possibility of a third movie, director Mark Webb told The Independent, "I really think Spider-Man belongs in that Marvel universe. I wasn't upset about it at all. It would have been hard to make another movie without Emma Stone, frankly. It's in really good hands now, and it's hard to feel bad about that. It's pretty cool, and I can't wait to see this movie." Although we didn't have that third film, Garfield's Spider-Man might be the one with the most rewarding arc in Spider-Man No Way Home, when he's able to save MJ, played by Zendaya, from having the same fate as his Gwen. Why Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man? Tom Holland played Spider-Man in the last real-life iteration of the character, and many think he's the best version. The actor has many things going for him, starting with the fact that he was a real teenager when he appeared in Captain America: Civil War, making him the actor most close in age to the character. Peter is a shy, awkward, and nervous teenager who feels that asking out the girl he likes is as difficult as beating up some bad guys. His trilogy is a coming-of-age story where we see everything he must learn, so his Spider-Man is ready to start being the college version of the character. Holland's Spider-Man is also the one that navigates both sides of the character better. Maguire was a great Peter and Garfield was a great Spider-Man, but Holland's version is the one that does both parts of the character justice, creating the most rounded hero of the bunch. His Peter has a naive innocence, a childish glee, and awkward stammering, while his Spider-Man is a bit more confident but is still the same person. The greatest of Holland's allies are his co-stars, making his Spider-Man the one with the greatest support group and the only one who has shared his secret identity with all the people he loves most. He has a lovely, real-life relationship with his Aunt May, a role played by Marisa Tomei, a best friend who also doubles as the guy in the chair in Ned, a role played by Jacob Batalon, and a romantic interest who is a great character on her own in MJ, played by Zendaya. Their first kiss in the second film is as sweet and awkward as any kiss between teenagers should be. About working with the three real-life Spider-Man in the last film, director John Watts told Variety, "We had the only three actors to ever play Spider-Man in a film, and each had been through so much on and off the screen. It was like a Spider-Man therapy session." Why Shamik Moore is the best Spider-Man? Shamik Moore plays a different character, an animated one for now, as he is the first big screen adaptation of Miles Morales. We met Miles in his own movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and for some this is the best superhero movie ever made, where Peter Parker just dies at the start of the film. Miles gets bitten by a spider, but he's still no superhero, so he gets a mentor-mentee relationship with a Peter Parker of another universe who shows him the ropes. Miles' life and character are different from Peter Parker's. Although both come from the New York City, they are shy teenagers and could be an everyman in the city, but the similarities stop there. Miles' family situation and dynamics are different as he has two loving parents in a multicultural home. He's not afraid to show his emotions and confusion, and he's not a scientist but an artist. He doesn't have to learn how his powers work alone as he has Spider-Man, women, a pig to help him on his way to becoming a hero. The fact that there are already many superheroes in this world also makes him different from Peter Parker, as he knows what's going on when he gets bitten. Shamik Moore might only voice the character, but with every sentence, every inflection, and every interaction, you can feel the whole persona and what he's feeling and thinking, making Miles a rounded character that imbues what Spider-Man has always been: kind, smart, awkward, and a teenager with teenage problems. The verdict. So, who is the best Spider-Man? After laying out everyone's cases, we think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man, as his version is the one that can mix both sides of the character better, making it the most lived-in version of Spider-Man. To be the perfect version, he still has to become more sarcastic and funny with his quips while fighting. But that's something that would come with the confidence of being Spider-Man for a few years. Now, let's hope the Marvel Cinematic Universe has another Spider-Man franchise in them led by Holland, so we can see him fighting new villains, getting Harry Osborn as a friend, and maybe even falling in love with Gwen Stacy or Felicia Hardy before MJ Zendaya comes back for the last film in the trilogy. Let's dream about all that with the greatest Spider-Man there has ever been in a film.